Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Midlife Motivation. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Andrea. I'm a 43-year-old full-time single mom, and I'm here to encourage, inspire, and motivate other middle-aged women that life gets even better in your 40s. My personal experience has helped me understand how important it is to put yourself first. Exercising self-care and doing things that fill your happy cup is absolutely imperative, especially as a mom. And even if you're not, when you don't prioritize yourself and do things that make you happy, it makes it even more challenging to fulfill other areas in your life that are important to you. As a mom, I have struggled a lot because I will spend a lot of time doing things to focus on my daughter, which of course, who wouldn't focus on their child? But when you are in a place of unhappiness or there are things tugging at your heart that make you feel like you should be doing things to do better, achieve better, it is really hard to be 1,000% present for your child and for the other things in your life, whether it's your career, your personal activities, improving things in your life and your home. I hope that sharing my story will motivate you to reprioritize things in your life so that you could do things to make yourself feel happy from the inside out and be able to conquer your goals. 7 years ago, I was bedridden from Lyme disease for 2 years. I had just recently had my daughter. At the same time, I was trying to fight for full custody because I was on the outs with my then husband. We'd been together for a total of 15 years. At the time, it was about 13 years. And unfortunately, he was and still is an alcoholic. He's trying to recover, and it's been a wild roller coaster, challenging nonetheless. So being bedridden as a new mom, now trying to win full custody of my daughter was an uphill battle that I had no idea how I was going to get through. I just know that I had to have full custody of her and make sure she was safe. That was my number one priority, as well as getting myself better. And that was in 2016. So 2018, I finally started to go into remission. I was watching the Olympics and I got really inspired with the figure skating. So I was feeling better and I decided, let me lace up. Let me just try this just for fun. February 2018, I started skating, had no lessons. And as you can see, I definitely looked like a newborn giraffe. I was loving it so much that I decided I need to learn how to do this properly. So I signed up for lessons, and before the end of the year, I competed in my first competition. I picked up figure skating at the age of 38, and that was honestly the catalyst that helped me find my confidence in being able to conquer my health and also get through a challenging divorce that would make or break my daughter's safety. Figure skating also gave me that therapy that I needed to feel free and just let everything go for those moments that I was on the ice. And when I got off, I felt absolutely empowered. I felt like, you know what? If I can skate on shoe knives and do life-threatening activities that also bring me so much joy, I can conquer and achieve the goals that I need to do to keep my daughter safe with this divorce, and I can find happiness and really start my life over. And that's exactly the journey that I foresaw. I sought help, and the people that I had on my team that did nothing but support me helped me achieve those things. One of the most impactful lessons that my life coach had taught me was when she asked, "If it doesn't serve you, why do it?" And that made me realize how important it was to do things that served me. And one of the other lessons that she taught me was that we are so crippled by our fear, and fear makes us believe that what is real isn't. So in trying to conquer this endeavor of winning full custody of my daughter, she said, "Do you have her right now? Is she under your roof? What you're fearing isn't true. So don't let that fear stop you from your tracks and make you feel paralyzed." And that was such a powerful way of viewing life. And I realized, you know what, you're right. What I'm fearing is going to happen hasn't actually happened yet. So let me focus on what I can control, which is the present. And that honestly gave me all the courage and confidence to know that, you know what I'm scared of what will happen isn't happening right now. So why react to that? Why allow that energy to consume me when right now she's safe? And if that problem arises when the time comes, we'll figure out a solution then. So I have made that the running theme of my life. And figure skating honestly also helped me get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I mean, it is really uncomfortable to get on blades and not know how to maneuver your feet in a way that won't threaten your life. And that also became the running theme of my life since I turned 40. I turned 40 in 2020. And that was such a pivotal moment because in that year, I did get full custody of my daughter. I celebrated my divorce by doing a jump shot in court. And it was a way to celebrate the life of a new beginning. And a lot of people have a negative stigma about divorce. And for some folks, it is a really traumatizing event. Some folks don't want to get divorced and they end up having to change their life and start a new journey, and it's terrifying. For me, fortunately, I do feel grateful for the fact that I left celebrating because I had found the freedom and achieved the things that I needed to do to keep my daughter safe and to start a new life that would just fill my happy cup. Post-divorce, there were two major things that I wanted to conquer, which were buy a home and replace my old car. It wasn't old, but the car that I had when I was married with something else. I just wanted things that were fresh and new, that weren't reminiscent of the past, because I was starting a new life. So in July or August of 2020, I ended up buying my home, and it was my dream home. It is my dream home. And it felt so empowering to just come into this life as a single mom and be able to do that, especially during COVID, no less. Actually, there's a whole story behind that. We ended up moving 3 times after we sold the marital home. Not intentionally, but we became, my dad, my daughter, by the way, disclaimer, my dad lives with me and I'm very grateful that I have his support. So yes, 3 moves within 7 months were done and we became expert movers. I did end up finding my dream car, something that I wanted within my realm. And it just felt really good to conquer these things and to start fresh and be able to, enter single motherhood, having the things that I needed to feel safe and secure and accomplished. Becoming a single mom homeowner can feel intimidating, and I thought, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to take on skills that I don't have. Figure skating has played such a significant role in my life because it's more than just getting on the ice and doing things and learning things. It honestly gave me so much confidence because it is a terrifying sport, and some people choose to do other things that don't threaten their life. I specifically am just drawn to this sport, and I embraced it fully. And skating as an adult, it's definitely a different experience because the goal is just to have fun and to achieve things. And like I said before, like getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, you can take those lessons off the ice. And I have used that to be able to conquer things in my career and be able to achieve things as a parent, because parenting is a lot harder than jumping and spinning. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but then when you realize that there's certain things that you can't control, when you realize there's certain aspects of a child you can't control, as in like when they eat or when they go to the bathroom, you realize, okay, well, skating, you can't control certain things. And starting my journey as an adult figure skater has honestly given me so much confidence on and off the ice. And doing a sport that honestly at times feels very life-threatening has given me the courage to face fears like I don't think I would have ever been able to conquer things in my life had I not started doing that. And I truly enjoy the fact that I can take those life lessons and apply them in real life when it comes to parenting, when it comes to doing things in my career. And I realized how important it was to do things that you're passionate about. And skating as an adult is also all about fun, and when you can conquer challenges, you just feel that much more empowered. When I started figure skating at the age of 38, I had no idea it would play such a significant role in the way that it shaped my life going into my 40s. And I absolutely appreciate the courage it's given me to conquer the things in my life that I didn't think I would have done as easily had I not learned to face fear in the way that I do now. And fear faces us every day, and it matters how you perceive it and how you embrace it or don't embrace it. That'll determine the outcome. And yeah, so when I started skating in February of 2018, by February of 2020, I had competed in my first adult sectionals, Eastern sectionals, against, I think it was like 31 women. And I qualified for adult nationals, placed 3rd. It was such a huge accomplishment. And that just propelled me to, feel like, you know what, if I can do this at my age, there's so many more things in life that I can do. And it just made me excited to be able to conquer things that that have yet to come. I want to share this energy because I feel like there's a lot of people I've spoken to, and whether they're moms or they're single, with no kids, there's a lot of things in their life. And at our age, sometimes, you feel like, is it too late for me to do something? Or why am I going to do this? I'm older now. And we're in a society that embraces youth rather than encouraging people to embrace their age and know that, you know what, yeah, you do have limits. I skate about 5 to 6 days a week. I also started coaching a few years ago, and I took up hockey as an adult. And there's a lot of things that you can do no matter what age you are. And it doesn't have to stop. If you're living and breathing, you can do it. And age doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to hinder you. And certainly you can't let fear do that. Probably fear is a huge factor for people. And they think, oh, I have a kid, and I'm at this age, and oh, I have a career. Those are all reasons why you should, because if you do not do things that fill your happy cup, you're going to miss out on so much in life. And that's the last thing I want to do. I spent a lot of my life, just being in a space that wasn't healthy for me. And when I found my newfound freedom post-divorce, I realized that was the time to really do things that will fulfill my heart and also be able to be a good mom. And because of that, I'm able to face, parenting and be able to be present for my child in the way that I want to be. A lot of the things that we want to conquer in our life has a lot to do with how we prioritize things. So if there are things that you want to conquer, don't let age, don't let fear, don't even, let your schedule be a hindrance to what it is that you want to achieve. Figure those things out, because I promise you, it is so much more fulfilling when you do these things and you can fill your happy cup. It isn't too late to, do things that fill your happy cup and achieve the things that you dream about. Your dreams can become a reality. And honestly, my reality and my dreams is just to be happy and to be able to be present. And I think that's absolutely imperative, because life is indeed too short. I know it's really cliche, but you don't want to go to your deathbed regretting the time that you could have spent doing something that made you happy. There have been a lot of times in my life where I feel guilty or I feel regret, because I feel like, especially as a mom, that I should be spending 100% of my time or majority of my time doing things for my kid. And that honestly would just set me back, because things were tugging at me, and I wanted to do things that could release my tension or just put myself in a space that was able to recharge my batteries. And recharging your batteries is absolutely imperative. And every time I do that, I come back, I'm able to reset and regroup, especially when my kid is challenging, and she is challenging about 90% of the time. Like, what kid isn't? But I've allowed myself I give myself grace. And when I do that, I come back re-energized and recharged and able to regroup with my kid and be able to figure out how we can do life better. And honestly, skating has given me that outlet. And I'm not saying like everyone should go out skating, but whatever it is that you want to achieve, I hope that you do find that motivation to light a fire under your rear and be like, you know what, today's the day I'm going to start doing this. So whether it's you want to get in better shape, or you want to tackle a new project, or you want to start something you've never done before, like, why not do it? I mean, I never imagined that I would actually start playing hockey, but why not? I'm already on the ice. Like, just put it, you get to wear gear. So if you fall on the ice, well, you're heavily padded, as opposed to figure skating where generally, we don't wear pads. It's honestly absolutely rewarding when you can prove to yourself that there are things in your life that you can do, especially when you're in your mid 40s. I don't think I would have had the same level of confidence as I did in my 20s, because you don't have that life experience, and I think part of aging is being able to embrace your age and say, you know what? All of the things that I see, feel, and can do is because of my youth. It's because of all the things that I have done. So I'm going to use that as a building block, rather than just saying, oh, too old to do that. There's so many other things too that you bring, you bring to the table in your life when you've had these life experiences, and you start to care less about other people's opinions. This is coming from somebody that had really low self-esteem as a teenager, someone in my 20s, even in my late 30s. So I can definitely appreciate and empathize with the fact that, you get really self-conscious, but that's part of, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. And then you just build your confidence from there. And I hope that my energy resonates with all of you that are watching, and that you can find your happiness and your self-love, because at the end of the day, loving yourself first is just going to make life better from the inside out. Because I coach, I see a lot of adults that come out and skate for the first time, and I honestly commend them, because it's terrifying, and they've never skated in their lives. And when I can help them get over their fear and just give them coach them into getting comfortable with their body and getting comfortable with the uncomfortable, and I see progress, it's honestly something to celebrate. So I don't care what it is that you want to conquer, but it's definitely never too late. And I hope that you can wake up tomorrow and be motivated to start something new, start something fresh, wherever you are in your life. But most importantly, love yourself first. So thank you so much for listening. See you next time.